What's up, freaks, geeks, gals, and ghouls, and welcome to another bone-chilling episode of The Final Guys right here on Corpses for Conversation, where we review nothing but the good and bad and just straight garbage when it comes to horror films. I am your host, Toxic J, aka Evil Dead Batman, along with my buddies Dimeback the Clown and SoCal Leatherface. How are we doing today, gentlemen, and happy holidays?
Happy holidays, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Getting ready for that big turkey feast, man.
I don't know,
Halloween
man.
is over, man.
What?
It was a
Halloween
blast,
is never
but
over.
every day
Every
for
day
us,
is
man.
Halloween.
I don't know. I'm not really like a Thanksgiving guy. Like I don't like turkey. I like turkey sandwiches and stuff, but I just for the initial like holiday, I don't really care for any of that stuff. For Thanksgiving, I'm actually gonna have pizza for Thanksgiving.
Turkey pizza.
Turkey pizza.
No,
Yeah.
but ever since my grandma died and my mom passed away, like it hasn't been the same. Because Thanksgiving, 6 o'clock in the morning, my grandma was up cooking, and like you wake up, you can smell that food. And I was like, oh damn,
What was cooking in the Italian kitchen? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. She would do a traditional turkey feast, turkey,
Oh, yeah?
stuffing, vegetables, potatoes,
But they just dip it in like mozzarella sauce. Mamma mia.
Hey,
I
stuff
Hey,
with
get
cheese.
some more turkey. Hey, come on, bring you some more turkey.
Turkey meatballs.
Oh, that sounds a little racist. Oh, I'm sorry.
don't-
Yeah.
Hey, but I am
What's
Italian.
that?
It's not racist if you're Italian. So.
Oh,
Yeah, I like the stuffing more than the turkey, man. Honestly, that's the thing I
Oh,
look
yeah.
forward to. Stuffing.
so
And not the stuffing you make on the side, but the stuffing that's actually made in the turkey. It's the
Oh.
most.
Nah, stovetop stuffers for me, gentlemen. So I grew up in the ghetto, so I like ghetto food, okay? Speaking of Thanksgiving, what are we reviewing today right here on The Final Guys?
The guys. Thanksgiving. Eli Roth brought this to us, 2010?
Thanksgiving is a time for appreciation. It's a time to remember our many blessings, to celebrate with the ones that we love the most, and it's time for all families to be together. Let's eat.
And now here we are reviewing it now that it's got its own motion picture.
Wait, did you say Thanksgiving or Hanksgiving? I heard Hanksgiving. Damn it,
Oh, I'll tell you what.
damn it, Bobby.
I'm waiting for that reboot. King of the Hill's coming back.
Yeah, I know. All I want to know is, Dime, were there any, like, because I know you love them, were there any discount whores in this film?
No discount holders in this one. But
Damn it!
We
Okay.
definitely had a budget of $15 million. Most of it going
That's
towards the gore. So
Oh, that's a lot of
but
horrors.
so far, box office, we got 12.6 million in the box office. Just
And that's
opening-
only after like 2 days, right?
Yeah, that's just 2 days, and it's not
I
counting
think
today.
it'll make its money's back.
Yeah, definitely.
Will
So-
there be a Thanksgiving too? Possibly. We'll
maybe.
get into that.
What, in another 15 years?
This
So
could
overall-
definitely start its own franchise, man.
Yeah, it
this
could.
is giving off Scream vibes, like anybody could just throw on the mask and we got another Thanksgiving killer.
I mean, like, if Halloween can do 13 films before the Friday the 13th franchise, I'm pretty sure, Thanksgiving can do it as well. But overall,
Mhm.
like, I enjoyed the film. Was it a perfect film? No. I have a little bit of haterade.
Well, don't shed a tear. Haterade is here. The new Haterade Thirst Quencher non-fruit juice comes equipped with 30 milligrams of potassium, 14 grams of carbohydrates, and 100% haterism.
Not too much, but, like, yeah, overall, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. It was great slasher. Definitely going to go down as being a holiday favorite down the road.
Yeah, we got too many holiday films about Halloween and Christmas. It's about time we start getting some more. Like, I kind of consider The Purge as like a 4th of July because we're always wearing those president masks. I know they didn't say it's on that day, but we need more different holiday slashers coming on. So another Thanksgiving movie besides, Thanksgiving? I'm down to watch that.
And what was the other one? Blood Rage? Blood Rage from the 80s?
I don't remember.
You never? Oh, well, that's another film we got to review right here.
I don't remember
Yeah.
that one.
past the cranberry sauce,
This was needed. It was a good time.
But before people that don't realize, this movie was actually a teaser trailer during the Grindhouse movies when Planet Terror came out, and what was the other one?
Death Proof.
Death Proof. That's right.
Yeah, Death Proof.
This was a fake trailer at the time. Everybody was hitting up Eli Roth saying, "You got to make this movie. You got to make this movie." So finally, he made the movie. He said it himself in an interview just recently that this movie isn't supposed to be what the movie in the trailer was. This is more of a reboot of that trailer.
A reboot of a trailer?
Yeah. So he didn't want to make an exact same movie that he did for the trailer, which was actually the same movie that he made in the trailer.
That's a little confusing, but
just gave it more of a modern twist.
Yeah, a little bit of a fun fact is that Eli Roth, like you said, did direct it, but he wrote it alongside with Jeff Rendell, who also helped him write the 2007 Grindhouse mock trailers.
I like the voiceover in the trailer.
Thanksgiving.
I like, it was all deep. It had that Grindhouse feeling. Obviously,
and that was actually Eli Roth doing the voiceover in that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, little stuff like this. It's kind of funny how it always takes place in small towns. Never in the big city. I mean, you have to get to the 9th sequel to ever to get back in the big city or something. And where was it? Plymouth, Massachusetts.
This was in Plymouth, Massachusetts. I guess because Plymouth Rock, Pilgrims, all that stuff.
I can't say yeah, you get it. Massachusetts or whatever.
Massachusetts.
But yeah, so
What did he say?
the movie starts off traditional Thanksgiving family, doing their thing. And then it just didn't really last long. And obviously it just cuts to the whole Black Friday scene. Now, I think, like I had said off camera, this movie came out maybe 10 years prior. That whole Black Friday scene would make sense. We live in a day and age where Black Friday isn't like that anymore. At least around here, I can't speak for like small towns. Everyone does their shopping online. I'll go to a Black Friday, but it is not as crazy as it used to be. I always go for the media, and unfortunately, a lot of the department stores are canceling out their physical media. So I'm like, why am I going to go?
Yeah, I think a lot of stores stopped opening at midnight too, right? Because of the whole, we're going to start like a lot of stores already started Black Friday like last week.
That's true. A lot about this movie did give off those kind of 90s, whatever, maybe even 80s vibes with it. And the only thing about the film, it's actually modern, because even like the cars look old, the town looks old, the parade they have looks like an old-timey one. The only thing that was modern is that the killer communicates to the group of teens through Instagram. And I was like, all right, he Instagram tags them. That's like the only modern thing we deal with.
And that is really an Instagram account.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Was it the real John Carpenter?
Yeah, it's funny, and I don't know why. I know it's all for like publicity, but still, I was a little hesitant to follow it.
You see your head on a plate pretty soon.
And it felt like everyone in town was at this Black Friday. There was a lot of people.
They had one superstore there, and everybody wanted to get like a fucking toaster oven. That was what everybody wanted. They weren't going for the TVs. They wanted a toaster oven.
The waffle iron.
Waffle iron. That's what it was.
Okay, but you could tell, and that was probably one of my gripes, at least with this opening scene. The whole Black Friday thing just took way too long. At the point, I'm like, oh my God, okay, just cut to the next scene. You could tell the department store wasn't a department store. It was just all props.
It was like literally a Dollar Tree.
Yeah, it just looked all dead for people trying to barge in.
Yeah, like the only deals that they were having were only in those like right at the beginning, right when you enter the store. It seemed like everywhere else beyond that, there weren't any good deals. And it was just the waffle iron and an iPhone.
You saw like football jerseys in the background. You saw like footballs. It was more like a sporting goods / I guess it was probably supposed to be like a Walmart type style, but like
Dollar Tree style.
Dollar Tree sized Walmart.
So I know the kill count, we all had different numbers in the kill count. The first one I can remember, because I just freshly saw the movie today, that Boston Bruins fan running inside and actually slicing his neck on the door. And I'm like, that's what you get. I hate, I'm not a Bruins fan, so I was like, oh, okay, that was justified.
These people were so wild. They were down to less than 10 minutes, and they just wanted to break through the door anyway. They couldn't wait just 10 minutes. They wanted to bust through the door. They shattered through the glass. People are cutting themselves just to get in. I don't remember Black Friday being that crazy. Yeah. That's not something from me, but I've only been to like one actual Black Friday at midnight. And it was only because, I don't know, I already had Thanksgiving with the family, and I was just, You want to go try to grab a deal? And it wasn't even that big like it's showing in this film. There was not that much craziness.
And I think, you know, at least for me, if you want to go to Black Friday also, you want to get one of those big TVs for cheap. But once you actually buy it, and in the following years, like, I don't need to go. I got a TV already, you know?
Well, it was either the TVs or the video game systems. That was the big thing.
Oh, yeah.
Or the latest toy. Like, I remember back in the day, it was the Cabbage Patch Kids when they came out. And when those went on sale on Black Friday, it was like an insane scene, like in the movie.
Well, it's almost Thanksgiving, and we all know what that means.
That's right. Black Friday is just around the corner.
Ouch.
And people are already gearing up.
We usually start lining up around 3 a.m. We douse ourselves in pig blood because it does help us slip through the crowd when the doors open. We do it every year, part of the family tradition. Last year we lost our youngest daughter. Her head was stepped on and crushed, but in her memory we're going to find a young girl and step on her head this year. If anyone thinks they're gonna beat me inside that mall and keep me from getting my kids' Christmas presents, they can kiss my fat vagina, 'cause I'm bringing the motherfucking pain. One thing's for sure, people take Black Friday very seriously. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. You got any extra of that? Gets a little boring around here, you know? Enjoy the boredom while you can. You worked on Black Friday? I did. Is it really as bad as they say it is? The shoppers started showing up at midnight on Thursday. They didn't line up, they just crammed themselves near the main entrance. I could see their faces smushed up against the glass, licking their lips, waiting to get in. God, the sounds that they made. It was 5 a.m. when they opened the doors. They were screaming. Blood. People tearing each other's faces off while holiday music played in the background. Before I knew it, they were all around me, fighting, clawing.
People were just like stampeding at each other.
No, but yeah, like I know Cabbage Patch back in the day was like hot. I could totally see where you're coming from on that part.
Jingle all the way vibes.
You know,
I want the turbo, man.
I mean, and not like I said, the scene took way too long, and you know, or to our listeners, somewhat spoilers, at least from what we can remember.
3 fatalities.
Yeah. One was Randover. Sounded all weird. Where she basically got crushed by 2 shopping carts.
Oh, that was brutal.
You know,
that concerto.
And it's funny because how those 2 people completely were oblivious to what happened. I'm like, really? I'm gonna pull a Zom? I'm like, that wasn't believable at all. But it's a horror film, I guess.
It's Eli Roth.
Who was the other? Who was the third one?
Oh, the security guard who was holding the door shut.
Oh,
he gets crushed by the door, and then like all these people are just stomping over him. And it's because we got hero Bobby. He wants to go try to save that guy. Like, that guy's still alive. And that's what gets his damn arm broken. I'm like, dude, that was brutal. The one thing that made me cringe. Just,
and you hear it, you know, just like,
And mind you, Bobby was supposed to be the star pitcher of the high school team, and he was going to go off to the majors, and then you see his arm get crushed like that. It's like, oh, dude, possible killer?
You know. Well, for at least for me, the moment you get okay, what's his name? The actor Patrick Dempsey.
Patrick Dempsey, yeah.
Right before he fires his like gun, they zoomed in to that way too close. I already know. I already know who did it.
He lost his shit and just fired right into the air. Just everybody stop! But he waits till like there's 3 people that died first. Then he's like, okay, stop. Could have been firing that outside, man.
It cuts to a year later. They still want to open the damn store. I guess this is where the story picks up. The cast of characters, they were okay. The final girl kind of was vanilla. She wasn't really like someone you would root for, you know? Like, okay, I guess. You know?
She was unlikable because at the beginning of the film, she's dating Bobby, like we said, the star. And then over the years, she just ends up dating the dude from like a rival team simply because he was there. Not because there was even any connection. He was just there and he just swooped right in. And she just was like, all right, I'm just going to go for it. So I'm just like, this chick has there's no loyalty here, man.
Yeah, he was like a vulture, you know? Like just picking at like the dead meat. And I'm like, he was annoying though.
Yeah, he was all up in her even during Black Friday. And Bobby just kind of steps in and is like, hey. So there could have been a lot of killers in. Like you said, you already knew who the killer was from the beginning, but like it definitely had that Scream vibe as far as killer. Who the hell the killer was.
This movie didn't really have any stars besides what were you saying his name was? Patrick Dempsey
Yeah.
and Gina Gershon. Those were like the only two actual stars. When it comes to the teens, I had no idea who these people were, and I had to look
Same.
into it. But that guy who is like the douchebag guy who takes over Bobby's place, I guess he's most known for being a Disney star. This is like where Disney kids go when they're like, I want to be an actor now, and then they step into a horror film.
He was a Disney dick.
It was a Disney dick.
Well, one of the girls, I don't know which one it was. I don't follow these people. One of them was actually a TikToker, and this is her first.
Oh, I
actual
heard about
wow.
that. Yeah, I mean that person. She did okay for a
You know what-
TikToker. I was
Which
like,
one was she?
I think it was the. Oh man, I could be
The blonde
mistaken.
one?
I think
she
it
the
was
Russian
the blonde
girl?
one. Yeah, I think it was the Russian. Like I could be wrong, but I'm not too sure. But I think it was her. She played her role well, so not too bad.
That's the one that got the corn stalks to her.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know this, but Patrick was actually voted the sexiest man of the year. You know, have the sexiest man of the year in a horror film. I'm like, okay, I guess it goes hand in hand.
I mean, he still looks good. I mean,
Sex and violence.
Sex and violence! Sex and violence! Sex and violence! Sex and violence! Sex and violence!
Yeah,
You hear that? Dime voted for him. That's why.
yeah, I think he's like 56 years old. I mean, he looked good for his age. Not that I
Yeah,
was
he
checking
does.
him out, but
What did he say?
you know, he could be the physicality of a killer.
See, and I was thinking, I know that Patrick Dempsey, he's a star. He's been in a lot of things, but what has he been in that I've watched? I know he was like in Grey's Anatomy. I never watched that. That's not
Did
me.
a lot of rom-coms. I know that.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like going back to his filmography, and I'm like, oh shit, he was in Scream 3.
Oh,
And I'm like,
yeah,
that's
oh
right,
yeah.
yeah.
So this is him touching back after all this time of being out of the horror scene
And
back
it's
in
funny
2000.
for like, you know, actors and actresses that are like that we don't really, we know who they are, but you don't know their line of work until you're that small percent. Scream 3, you're like, oh, I know who he is, but you
Yeah.
don't, I didn't know he was on Grey's Anatomy or any of that.
Yeah. And then Gina Gershon too, like just last year, she was in season 2 of Chucky.
Wait, which one was she? Was she the stepmom? No.
No, she just played herself because they had Gina Gershon was going to visit Tiffany. Oh, we're having a reunion for the movie
That's right.
Bound.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she played herself for like 2 episodes or something.
Okay, what did you guys think of I guess you want to call him maybe the new slasher icon? I dug it.
I thought it's
Yeah,
very
John
simple. Yeah, John Carver. It was very simple design. It's just a Dickie shirt, Dickie pants.
No,
you know,
it's actually a Dickies, like,
the jumpsuit.
there's a jumpsuit.
Oh,
Is
okay.
it?
I thought it
Yeah.
was like a 2-piece.
No, it's not. I looked and I was staring at him like, is it a 2-piece?
Mhm.
I thought originally he was wearing a whole pilgrim outfit, but no.
Yeah, that's what I
it,
thought.
it was actually a blue Dickies jumpsuit because I'm like, wait, it's not black. It looks blue. Yeah, and I asked
Mhm.
Poison, who went to watch it with me. She goes, yeah, that's like a navy blue. I was like, I got that. I could do that, you know? It's like-
Yeah.
And then you just get the pilgrim hat and Trick or Treat Studios. Come on, jump on this, man. We need John Carver
Yeah.
mask.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing in theaters whenever it would show a good close-up of him, like when he's looking for the mom and she's kind of like stalking through looking for her. I'm really looking at his outfit and I'm like, what is he wearing? I was thinking it was a Dickies, but I'm like, I don't know. I thought those things had like those collars that frill out.
That's
And
what
I'm
I
like,
thought
maybe
too,
it's
yeah.
I'm like, maybe it's just a basic pilgrim outfit like you see the other dude wear later on in the film, and he just like took off the like funky little white collar, and I'm like, what is he wearing? But
So,
if it is a
well,
Dickie, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so what he's wearing, we have to ask Michael. Michael's really attention to detail. Whenever he comes back, or we'll ask him. So from what I saw, it was just straight black boots, a navy blue Dickies jumpsuit. He wore. Remember that one scene when you get the back profile? He had a black balaclava mask over his
Mhm.
head, the pilgrim, the John Carver mask, and the pilgrim hat, and the gloves kind of look like the Harry wore in 1981. They were like those leather gloves. Yeah, it was simple, you know, and I liked it because it reminded me of the 80s slasher craze. Like all those killers were pretty simple, you know, nothing like
a
too
flannel
crazy.
shirt and freaking jeans.
I like that one moment where he puts the mask and he leaves it on top of the oven and it kind of burns.
Oh, yeah.
So when he puts it on, you get that kind of like half burned face. I'm like, oh, is this the one he's gonna wear for the rest of the movie? It's gonna look like that burned up look, and then he just throws it away and gets a fresh one. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Well,
So
that
you-
was actually a throwback to the trailer from Grindhouse. His original mask in that trailer was all burnt up on one side.
Did he
And
show
so
the
then-
mask in the trailer?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
like
okay.
a quick glimpse of it, and he had that burnt up. They kind of did that kind of as a throwback to the trailer. I was hoping he would keep it that way, maybe for the sequel, maybe because he did get blown up, and Oh, excuse me, sorry, spoilers. There will be
that was the
spoilers.
ending right there. It's blown up.
Well, I mean, if they do a sequel,
Once again, thank you for listening to the final, guys.
my bad. Sorry, guys.
Man. Prematurely evacuating the ending, dude.
So, like, obviously, we all, like I said, we all have different kill counts and stuff, but we could just go over the deaths. Like, how did you think? Okay, the practical effects. I know you had mentioned this before, Dime. CGI, but it was mostly practical. I couldn't tell. I thought it was very convincing if it was, but I just saw this today and just getting other people's reactions. Oh, it was good. And is it like Terrifier gory, or is just your typical 80s style slasher gore?
Well, it did build Terrifier. I mean, it wasn't as bloody as Terrifier. The Terrifier was just over the top, just bloody. But this one did have a lot of gore. I would totally be surprised if it was all practical. But there was definitely, you could definitely tell there was some CGI mixed in with the practical effects.
Yeah, when it comes to that gore, man, it was giving off those vibes of the first Black Christmas remake in the early 2000s.
That was a great film. I love that film. Fight me. That was good.
It was. It was giving off those vibes, like when he cuts the chick's skin and makes cookies with the skin cutouts, and it's like here they straight cook a woman and make her into a turkey. It was giving like those same kind of vibes.
Dude, yeah, I've never thought I ever needed to see a human turkey like on film until I saw this fork between the movie. But like I said, like I think what made me cringe during that scene was when he cuts the skin.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's just all slimy on the inside. It's like, I thought it would be like more white meat type style, like a turkey. And then when he pulls it out, I'm like, oh, that's nasty, dude. You know, like membrane and all kinds of shit.
When he's like prepping her to be cooked, dude, and it's like it's gonna touch into all those people that got those feet fetishes, because this guy is basting her feet for like 5 minutes, just going down every little toe.
And you notice
like, someone in here is enjoying it.
I was gonna say, you notice they kind of focused on the feet a little too long.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a feet guy. I'm just like, ugh, like show something else. But the guy next to me was sweating, and I'm like, oh, he likes it.
Oh, I wish you would let me rub those feet. Of course, I wouldn't use my hands.
Dude, I was like, you okay, dude? Yeah, fine.
I know. This movie is great. 5 stars.
What did you think about the I don't want to say a redneck, the bitch waitress? She got what she deserved. She got.
Yeah, I think I like before she actually got when he first starts like stalking her in the restaurant, in the diner, because that's always a movie thing. They're closing up and they're the last one in. But when he puts her in the water and he's like, oh, is he gonna drown her? And he's like, nope. And then he sticks her face to the freezer wall. And I'm just like, and then he just leaves her there. Yeah, I guess he leaves her there though, so she has to pull her own face off, and it's just.
And you know what?
It was so good.
And you know what I thought when I saw that? I'm like, that whole like little font came in my head. Oh, the more you know. I'm like, I could, in case something like, you know what? If I ever have to do that to somebody, do that first.
And mind you, she was the woman in the beginning where she was the big riot starter in the Black Friday. You know, these kids, they jumped in front of her, you know, she's all pissed off. So now those kids are in the diner and they're like, excuse me, can we get served? And she's like, wait a minute. You can't jump in front of the customers like you did like last year or whatever it was.
Yeah. It's been a year and she's still fucking bitter over that.
Still fucking holding on to that bitterness over a damn wall.
What did she say? You're going to have to wait just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just sneak to the front of the line here.
Yeah, but when she pulled her skin out, it was just like, because I remember that I used to work in a walk-in freezer, and you get your hand wet or anything. That's why you had to wear gloves. And if your hands were wet, you were screwed. If you touched anything, like you get that freezer burn type thing.
So, you know, she runs out, tries to look for her car keys. He gets in, mows her down right into the garbage can. Okay, now I was thinking, I don't know. I think, you know how sometimes when you kind of blink for a second and then even though it's just a second, you're like, I didn't catch that. Okay, he hit her, but
how heavy were those trash can lids?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was just like, how I don't know. I was just in a state of confusion. Wait, how does that? I mean, yeah, you could crush a person to hit that short of a distance with that much impact. to make her basically explode. I don't know. I meant like Zom says, movie magic.
Gotta turn off your brain.
It's like I know that was the only kill in this film that really bothered me because I was trying to figure out how, and I'm just like, how? And I'm driving home like, how?
Yeah,
How? And I'm like, the only thing that made sense to me was that he hit her with the car, so she's kind of stuck to the front. She slammed into the dumpster, and force ripped her upper half off. That like slammed into the lid and then fell inside or something. That's the only thing I can make sense of. TJ says it blinks and it's over. So fuck.
He was worried about that more than actually driving safe at home. Like,
I know.
Life's mystery.
Just,
how does that happen?
Yeah, most
like
of
if I find someone chilling by a dumpster, I'm gonna find out how that works.
Yeah, because most of those trash bin lids are like heavy rubber, plastic. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
How can this shit, like, unless you have those old ones where they're metal and you slam them down and you can actually hear that.
Well, I mean, it is a small town, so they could be a little outdated. You know, they didn't get the softer ones.
But still, to cut somebody in half like that, I'm like, no, bro, come on.
Yeah, I did like how he stuffed the lower part of her body, corn on the cob, just putting a stick right up her ass. What was the department store's name again? I forgot.
Right Mart.
It was like,
Right Mart.
Yeah, Right Mart or Smart Mart, something like that.
Yeah,
like
Right
that.
Mart, and then they called it Fight Mart because of the Black Friday thing.
True. That's true. It's all, man, this whole thing happened over a waffle iron, dude. It was waffle iron, right? When the dude is bleeding out, he's starting to have a seizure because even though he's losing blood, he still wants to grab it. And then he falls down on the pallet and he's having a seizure like he's dying. And then someone takes the thing from him and runs off.
Hey, those deals are killer.
Oh my God.
I mean, they must really love waffles in that small town.
Well, it was a free waffle iron to the first 100 people, I think it was.
Oh, that's that what it
Oh,
was?
that's true.
I want to hold people down for that. I love waffles. I think probably the next one, we're just doing the kill count because we're just trying to remember stuff. It was like the weakest kill of the movie, which was the security guard. But I don't know. I thought that scene was funny. Like I didn't think it like the whole movie was generally funny, but I thought that mainly because of the cat. It looked like the cat set him up. You know,
It just ratted him out.
Yeah. It was an easy kill. In this movie, like you said, it's not a comedy. I don't think it's meant to be a comedy horror, but there are funny things about it. But honestly, I enjoyed that kill. I wanted to put that down as my favorite kill of the movie. Only because he's looking for him. He doesn't know where he is. The dude's like telling the cat, like, where is he? Where is he? And if you own a cat, I own a cat, Dime owns a cat, they're not fucking guard dogs. They're worthless. They will not save your life. And he's just, where is he, man? Where is he in the apartment? And then he comes out from under the table and like stabs him with a turkey carver of all things, which is perfect because they're keeping it on brand with the Thanksgiving theme. But then he does this V from V for Vendetta move where he like gets this razor wire, does his flip and wraps around and pulls it all action-like and the head just flies off. I just thought that was like an action movie move.
No, it was, but I don't even remember the cat's name. He goes, where is he, buddy? Where? And you see the cat nudge his whiskers. He's over there. He's over there. And obviously he wasn't over there. So like I said, the cat set him up. And then the funny part, and I know Dime, if anybody knows Dime, he's a cat person. I bet you when he got home, he just looked at his cat. Fuck you.
Looking at him right now, I'm like, fucking Sam will probably like wrap me out.
But I think the even most funny part is the cat was asking for food. He's okay. I'll feed him.
Yeah, I was thinking he was gonna kill the cat or something, and then it was a quick cutaway, and then he's feeding the cat like a handful of kibbles and bits or whatever the hell it was.
Didn't he pet the cat at the end too?
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's that moment where he stops and he's staring at the cat and the cat's looking at it. I'm sure at that moment, TJ, should I cover my eyes? I don't want to see a pet die. And then he feeds him. He's like, that's right. That's right.
I know. I jump around like, that's right. I'm not a cat person, but you go,
I thought he was going to feed him the guy. Like he was going to rip some chunks of the guy and like put him in there or something. And I don't know, but it was just cat food. Don't worry, folks. It was just cat food.
So obviously at this point, everyone's going nuts to see who this killer is, and everyone in town pretty much has those same identical masks. It's basically a whodunit kind of type movie.
Mm-hmm. Who could it be? Could it be the vengeful husband? Could it be the forced into retirement baseball star? Could it be the guy who took over the baseball star's girlfriend? Like, what's going on here?
And with the vengeful husband, after that whole, like, he did those interviews and stuff, he kind of just faded. You don't see him again except during the parade or protest, but you don't see his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I thought it was him. That was what I was thinking most of the film. And then when he does have that moment before the parade, he puts on the mask and you see his body. And I'm like, oh no, he's too chunky to be the killer. But I was legit thinking it was him and he lost weight over the year because he was, stressing and plotting how to kill these people in a
So
year. You know what I
he was
mean?
working out at the same time, just like,
Yes.
what was the
Practicing
next
those
kill after
axe
that?
swings.
I don't remember.
After that one, we got a double kill after that one, man. That's when they get that dude that's like in the gym. And he's like, running the gym. Yeah, it's like
he
the
was
football star from the rival team.
But wait, wasn't he like a PE coach already? And then he was messing around with the teenagers?
No, this is the football guy. This is the guy on the other team. This is like the rival team guy.
Oh, the way how he was coaching the other guys, I always thought he had graduated that year.
Maybe.
And then like he was just training them, and then
Yeah, hitting up the cheerleader girl. That's what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. That's a trampoline one.
That was a good one. I like that. Like, new exit wounds every time she jumped.
Yeah, the thing is with the trailer, the original trailer and the Grindhouse trailer, when she jumped, she did a split in the air and just landed on her cooch. The knife went right in dildo style, man. Straight up. And I was like, oh no! I was hoping they would keep that in this movie. Spoilers, guys, it's not in here. But when she jumps, she lands. Her foot lands on the knife. She freaks out. I don't know what happened. Her leg hits it.
Yeah, and she's bouncing up and down.
Bouncing, and then she starts bouncing on the knife. And like, oh, damn it. Dude. That was actually pretty brutal. But the football guy, he gets his head spun around, and that was pretty brutal.
That was quick.
It was just a quick kill.
Like the guy's body didn't even fall over; it was still sitting there.
Yeah,
it's like, oh man, the way they planned that out for like the spotlight to be on her. So if she has a light on her, she can't really see into the darkness. I'm like, all right, that kind of explains it or whatever. But dude, leave it to horror movies. Seriously, leave it to horror movies that always unlock like a new fear. It's like you watch like Final Destination and you got a bunch of fears. I used to love going on trampolines when I was like 11 years old. I had a cousin that had a big one and we would jump on it. Never did I think that there'd be someone down there that could have a knife and just like stab you upward. And now I do never want to be on a trampoline again.
Not only because she got stabbed to death pretty much, but what irked me about that whole trampoline scene is, if anybody knows me, I have 3 bulging discs in my back. So I had gone to a trampoline park for a friend's kid's birthday, and I took my kids and stuff. I jumped, like I was like, hey, I'm gonna get in there and do that, and then I'm probably too old for that, or just like my equilibrium was like, oh my god, I could have like just ate shit somewhere, but like yeah, and then my back, I just feel like, oh my god, I can't do this anymore.
So I went one time to a trampoline park, and you guys know I'm out of shape. I was fucking winning. I'm like, God, I don't know how people do it. It was sad because people were looking at me like, dude, why is this old man in this trampoline park? We took the kid that she raised, we took him, and it was his birthday.
So see, okay, both of us felt that pain. We were just like, I couldn't do this anymore. So yeah, the snapping of the neck. That guy, especially guys that you don't really like, and I'm like, oh man, I hope it's always a guy that you want to get the worst, never gets the worst. It's just simple. And I was like, oh man.
Yeah, it wasn't good enough. It was just a quick turn, and I was telling Dime here that like the body didn't even fall over; it just kept sitting there, which I thought was pretty funny. It's just chilling there, with his hands all crossed and everything. He's just chilling.
And the next kill, well, there wasn't really a kill. It was like final girl gets stalked, or no. First, beforehand, like who was that jock that was the douchebag? I forgot his name. Like, he got all pissed off because they canceled the football game. He looks like he sucks at playing football anyways. So he goes to the locker room with his girl, and all of a sudden they get kidnapped. So our final girl, some stuff you don't do in horror films, they do still. The killer's texting through the jock or the other friend's phone. Can you come to me, right? Like a dumbass, she follows, and like, first of all, like, when they run into the classroom with the whole hair salon stuff, I don't remember in my high school having a hair salon class in there. Man, this must be in the valley side of the middle of a small town or something.
Yeah. See, I think they got good funding because after the massacre that happened the year before, and everybody was blaming like the rich guy who owned the store, what he did to make up for it was he just started donating money to the school district and to the jobs around the area, trying to make it like, oh yeah, see, I'm sorry, I'm donating money. So maybe they were able to open up a hair salon inside the school. I don't know.
All these hood rats, man, they gotta have their hair done.
See, but that was a good scene though, because she's where are you gonna hide inside that room? Because it's a classroom. You got one fucking door, and she just hides behind the table, blending in her head with all the other heads.
All the mannequins.
And it's just
I do remember when the little people that were in the theater, they laughed at that scene because it was like maybe a perfect example. The best way to hide is in plain sight, and that's what she did.
No, true that, man. And it was bringing back those vibes from the Hellfest. Remember the end of Hellfest?
Yeah, it kind of did.
Yeah, when they had to hide among the mannequins, just hide in plain sight. It really did, man. They were bringing that back.
And then obviously, like, she runs out. The cops are trying to find the other two missing, and then I guess the final girl was caught in a love triangle with her new boyfriend and the ex-boyfriend, and obviously she's like, you guys leave. I guess at this point she's like, it could be one of them. Basically tells both of them to like F off, leave me alone. Trying to figure this shit out and stuff like that. And now that you think about it, you do see a lot of like the seeds planted for who the real killer is, but you're like, oh, okay.
The sheriff did give a line towards the beginning of the film when all this started to go down, where he says, be careful who you trust, because this is a matter of life and death. And that was planted in her, so she would start to not trust any of her friends, so she wouldn't try to group up. Because, if you know someone's trying to get you, you think, oh, if I stay with a group of people, I have a better chance of survival. But if they plant the seed, they'd be like, hey, man, be careful who you trust. You won't even want to trust your friends or your boyfriend or anything.
See, her friend, the dad comes, picks her up, who looks like he would be like a Russian villain in like a John Wick movie. I thought it was Drago. You get in car. We go to Florida. Like, he kept repeating that, which I thought it was funny. It's like, we'll go to Florida.
He's like, we can't go, Daddy. My friends are stolen. He's like, if they die, they die.
Yeah, I would probably laugh hysterically if that actually said that line. From what I remember, it does cut into their home, right?
Oh, yeah.
And this is where they're in the house packing, talking to the final girl over the phone, or her boyfriend. I don't remember. Like I said, the plot was just kind of like silly at times. And then, like, does this killer or, John Carver? What is it? John Carver, right?
Yeah, John Carver.
He must have like a key. Oh, no, never mind. That does make sense. I was like,
he's a key to the city.
Yeah, he has a key to everyone's house, or breaks in quietly. But you already saw, like, the predictable death scene in it, with the whole corn falling on the floor. Like, oh, okay, what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I know we talked about it. So did the dad die and the deputy? Or was it like a tranquilizer? See, I don't know.
Yeah, see, this is controversial, and I guess it's left up to, everyone who's listening. Like, what do you guys think? Because I counted them as deaths, but at the same time, you never really see them again. He didn't put them at the table. I don't know if he was specifically only killing the people that wronged him, and everyone else just got like a tranquilizer. Like, nah, this ain't about you. If you want to count them, yeah, they're same thing. They're easy kills or easy whatever, just taken out of the story. They just get tranked and then they're out of the picture. And then he saves all the brutality for... I thought her name was Julia. It's Yulia. And I was like, oh, okay. Yulia. Yeah, Strafe gets stabbed in the ears and, ear unlocked again. Like,
right for the eardrum.
Yeah, and then it has that typical, like, sound where you can't hear anything. Kind of like from, remember in Freddy's Dead? Carlos was dead, and you hear the... Bump, 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 and that's what it was.
You can hear your own heartbeat.
Wait, I don't even remember how she died. Oh, I did. Yeah. The bandsaw, right?
Yeah.
Or like the table saw.
He just picked her up and just threw her, and she just landed right on that bandsaw.
And it's funny because I don't think that was the initial intentions. I think he was going to kidnap her, but the two friends had the final girl and, the token black guy who surprisingly lived throughout this film, So if anybody knows about horror films, there's always like a formula. I'll give credit.
Always dies first.
Yeah, I'll give it credit. It didn't follow that formula, so kudos to them.
And it wasn't a Blumhouse movie, so...
Exactly. I think he was trying to kidnap her and then pulled out the gun. Oh, take the safety off. And he just kind of just lunged at Yulia. That's when she, met her demise. And that scene kind of went on for a while, but you see all the chunks on the table. Yeah, just...
See, and that scene wouldn't have made sense if it wasn't for the one moment right when they walk in, like when he's like, we are going to Florida. And like that one like random security guy is in there and he's, are you ever going to finish your renovation? And he's like, no, never finished. And I'm just, okay, that's why there's an egg. That's why there's a saw in there.
We go to Florida.
We go to Florida. Florida. Why Florida? You want to go someplace safe? You go to Florida?
Yeah, exactly. You know how some parts of Florida is ghetto. Well, we can ask Michael, because he lives in Florida.
I know. It would have been funny if they really did just go and you think that they're safe and it cuts to them later and a fucking tornado just takes them over. Fucking Sharknado.
Something completely random.
Yeah, just random.
They can call it Thanksgiving NATO or Thanks NATO. Thanks NATO.
Turkey NATO.
Turkey NATO, yeah.
Man.
Eli Roth, make it happen.
Make it. Sequel. Crossover.
And I think what was the next one? I think it was the human turkey. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's when we get over to the parade.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember that. And I know why Dime likes this scene. So if anybody, spoiler alert, like I said, we're sorry. There was a random ass clown in the parade. And I was like, I bet you Dime did that whole Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's pointing at the television. There!
Yep, that was me in the theater. No, but it wasn't really random because they did have a couple stilt walkers in there, so they kind of had like a circus, circus type of segment of the parade. And
I mean, that's true, but this clown looked evil. Like, he had like a scary mask on, like a Halloween mask during a nice, happy Thanksgiving thing. And I'm like, dude.
Okay, see. Now, this is where the part is a little confusing. They didn't put much thought into this. Okay. In the Black Friday scene, there was a lot of people. Like, ridiculously a lot of people. And then the parade, it looked really weak. There wasn't really a lot of people. I'm like, is this supposed to be the whole town? But yet the Black Friday scene looked way more people than it did,
Yeah, it could have been to the point where like people are still fed up with the whole Thanksgiving.
I mean,
what happened last year? They didn't want to celebrate Thanksgiving.
And there were murders going on like currently. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, but let's just bring our little kids to a parade where a homicidal maniac is on the loose. Come on.
Yeah, they were definitely on the lookout. People were walking around with John Carver masks, and the deputies just tackle them. Be like, hey, take that mask off.
I like how they do mention that one random guy who is dressed as the turkey when they were thinking of suspects, like who could be the killer, and then they name him, and they're like the guy that dresses as the turkey for every parade, and you're just kind of like, okay, like what's the deal with this guy? And then you see him later, and he's all happy, like I'm gonna be a turkey. You know what I mean? Like, he's all stoked to be a turkey again.
Dude gets beheaded, man. Cut that turkey's head off, bro.
So he got.
He got.
He died doing what he loved.
But that way, play the turkey.
He's a fucking turkey.
But that wasn't even the best death in that scene. It was obviously the I guess the truck driver that was driving the
Mayflower.
The Mayflower, yeah. See, I don't know if was it practical or was it CGI? It looked really good with that whole tip. That, not to sound funny, like that was pretty big to go through his head. I knew I couldn't say it right.
Like, how's he gonna word it? How's he gonna say it?
Yeah, how am I gonna word it? But you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but
what did he say? You know what? Surprisingly, that scene for a shatter of a second kind of bothered me because it happened in front of his two daughters.
Yeah.
So I have two daughters. I'm like, I don't want my kids to see me got like that. And they're screaming, and as they're screaming, the higher the pitch the scream was, the more blood came out of the dad's head.
Yeah, it definitely had a Final Destination feel to it on that one. Like, you celebrating Thanksgiving, there you go, you get killed by the freaking Mayflower.
I did like the Plymouth Rock, and you had the I guess you want to call him the arms dealer, or he sells everything, just jamming on a guitar, and you see his dad in the background, like, yeah, that's right, that's my son.
That's right. When they go to him earlier in the film to get a gun from him, and those nerd kids are trying to get into his party, and he's over here like talking about Black Sabbath. Dude. Like, who's Black Sabbath?
That shit hurt me, bro.
Yeah, dude. I did like how they acknowledged, you thought Black Sabbath was dead once Ozzy was kicked out. No, they brought Ronnie James Dio. I'm like, hell yeah. Because honestly, I'm in the minority, but I love Ronnie James Dio in Black Sabbath rather than Ozzy. But that's just me. But the fact is, it did hurt. Like, who's Black Sabbath? I'm
like, you
what?
Little bastards.
See, I know, but doesn't that make it feel like that is you guys? That is you. Like, you would be in that age group. You'd be right there, talking to these younger folk about the shit that meant something to you. And then as soon as you tell them, they're just, who?
I was like, where's John Carver when you need him?
Gen Z kids. And he got all pissed off, like giving him the thing, like, dude, educate yourself. He didn't know who Black Sabbath was.
Exactly.
I did like the Dirty Harry reference with the 44 Magnum. I'm like, yeah, okay. I was hoping they would take that. No, we just need something smaller. Dude, you can blow a guy's head off with this. And
Where he's hiding all these things in the radio, like.
But he said, "I'll give you even a discount if you quote a Dirty Harry line as you kill someone." I was like, and it made me realize, like, I want to watch Dirty Harry now. That was before the whole Yulia got with the saw. That scene was still funny nonetheless.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What was after that? Was it with the human turkey? See,
human turkey.
Dude, she was a total bitch. She got what she deserved, you know.
I mean, come on, man. Nobody deserves to be turned into a human turkey, man.
I was watching this film and I was trying to guess who the killer was. And when I noticed in the school that that the killer is wearing, like you'd mentioned, TJ, that black kind of like hood to hide your face, your ears, your hair.
Yeah,
I was thinking, watch it. Yeah, I'm like, watch it be like one of those shockers in the end where it's like, oh, it was a woman and she had all this long hair underneath, and you're like, oh, I would have never guessed, because she was the one that forced the store to be open. That whole thing, the whole reason this happened was because of her. She's the reason why they're continuing to do it the next year. She's like the voice behind the guy who's supposed to be running the town. She's making all this stuff happen. So I'm thinking, watch her kill the people giving her bed.
But even if she was the killer, I mean, the killer didn't have any boobs, you know?
I know, that's true.
So,
at first I was thinking it was the store owner.
Tied him down, man.
He was way too skinny to be store owner. But that guy was kind of just like shady as fuck, man. I'm sorry.
No, and the thing is, though, like, I think that death was, dude, what do you do in that moment? Like, you're slowly getting roasted. You're slowly dying instead of a quick kill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and I did like how he opened the oven and then put the thermometer.
Yeah.
He's like, ready.
Obviously, he didn't kill everyone at first. Sets up this whole Thanksgiving feast type of deal with some of the dead victims, and some of the victims were alive. Kind of reminded me also, well, obviously other than Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it also reminded me of Happy Birthday to Me. That whole scene where she killed everybody but she still had a party. It kind of resembled that kind of scene. So I don't know, maybe it was like an homage, which no one would probably get, or it's just coincidence. I don't know, but I liked it.
Eli Roth has been known for that, like just paying homage to the old classics from the 80s and even the 70s.
There were a couple homages, in my opinion, like when they're trying to track down where the video is being live streamed from, and they send in the whole SWAT team. When the whole SWAT team gets there, they're like, it's recording off of another recorder. Did that remind anybody of Saw?
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, that's exactly what they did in Saw.
That was the first thing that came to mind, and I was like, oh shit.
And then like I said, one of my favorite kill was the idiot jock. He just took a tenderizer? I think it was
meat tenderizer.
And just repeatedly on live stream bashed the holy hell out of his head, and he all these brains. That was great, dude. That was like a Terrifier scene, actually.
Yeah, huge shout out to Soho VFX, man. They did a great job with the visual effects and everything with this movie.
And then it's funny, you see the dad when the human turkey gets revealed, and I thought it was hilarious when he was throwing up while gagged, and it still comes out.
Yeah.
See, the best part about that scene though is the pickup lines, you know, like the one-liners that John Carver is saying, like when he's about to bash in that kid's head, and he's like, "What's wrong? You're about to go viral. Sometimes to go viral, you really got to bash yourself over the head." And like he's like doing all these one-liners just consistently.
So I know, like, maybe we missed a few kills, but like I said, this movie just came out, so it's all still kind of fresh in our minds. Well, let's just talk about the pros and cons. What were the pros for you?
Well, the pros for me were just the gore, man. It's been a while. I mean, we had Terrifier 3, but we need more movies like this. We need horror. This is what horror should be right now. You know, we don't need Blumhouse. Every freaking movie doesn't have to be Blumhouse. The gore, top of the list for me. Yeah.
I got to agree with that, man. The gore was definitely, like you said, it's not Blumhouse. It's something different. And yeah, this is more the direction. Like, I feel like I enjoyed this movie more than I enjoyed the brand new Scream movie that came out this year.
Oh,
I definitely enjoyed this one as a whodunit slasher. I enjoyed this so much more. They didn't need a big franchise. They didn't need a ton of big names in the film. And even the ones that they had, I mean, aren't even known for horror. That plus, you know me, guys, there was a head explosion in this one.
Explosion.
You got to give points to the head explosions.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna piggyback off both of you guys, and yeah, it was the gore because it did remind me a lot of the golden 80s era of slasher films. It was much, but it wasn't too much, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It just had a right amount. It kind of gave off that Friday the 13th vibe type gore. Not like Art the Clown and Terrifier. Like that was, I'm saying this in a bad way. That was too much where it was like, okay, it wasn't really believable or a little corny. So it balanced it out really well, and I think that's what I liked about it. I do like the fact that, you know, we don't have Halloween killers. We have Christmas killers, but not a whole lot of Thanksgiving Day killers, you know? And like the only ones that I can remember is that 80s film, I think it is called Blood Rage. Other than that, you know, okay, Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving,
You know,
the killer turkey.
Yeah.
Gobble gobble, motherfucker.
Those are probably the only three. But this is going to be renewed every Thanksgiving. This is like a new cult classic. What about the cons?
Hey, TJ, did you watch Terrifier 2?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, because for the fans of Terrifier that are listening in, I mean, Art the Clown in part 2 taught us how to make mashed potatoes in an interesting way, and now John Carver taught us how to make a turkey. I think they should team up next Thanksgiving.
I know, right?
Or have a cooking show, man.
A cooking show. What are the cons?
Cons for me was this movie should have been shorter. Like, it was an hour and 47-minute runtime. They could have cut like 20 minutes off of this movie easily. You know, there was some stuff like, yeah, the Black Friday scene went a little too long. There was some scenes that I was like, really? Does this really even have to be in the movie? But yeah, for me, it's just the runtime.
I'm going to have to say the same thing. If you wanted to go back and do like an 80s style slasher film or a 90s style, keep it under like an hour and a half. You didn't need to do it almost a 2-hour horror film. And that's the thing with like movies nowadays. Everything, like the minimum time is like 2 hours, especially when movies don't have to be that long. Then it kind of takes you away from the film, and it was just, there was not enough music in this. There were certain scenes where it was just quiet, and I'm just like, okay, is this something supposed to happen? The score wasn't really there. Of course they had some music, but they could have done a lot better.
I agree with that. For me, cons, I would have to say, I mean, we did talk about gore and we praised it, but just a couple of the gore things were too CGI'd, mainly being that dumpster kill. It was just a little ridiculous. So I think they went just, you know, they didn't constantly go heavy on it, but when they did, it was a little much. It made it kind of, you know, let you fall out of it. Kind of feel like a con would be that the teens that they got, the group, they're really just unlikable. There wasn't anybody really part of them that I was rooting for, like we'd mentioned. That was kind of like a con for me. Going along that same vein of Scream films, I feel like every time it gets to the end of a Scream film, I'm always disappointed with the killer's motive. The motive of the killer in this one was like, it was out of left field. And I was just kind of like, you know, the cheating wife that's sleeping with the sheriff, and you took my family away because your dad and your mom were going to break up and I was going to be your new dad. Now I'm going to kill you. And it's just like, I don't know. It's kind of a weak motive again.
No, it is. And another con, as good as this movie was, or is, or whatever, it suffered the same fate as My Bloody Valentine 3D. Once the killer's revealed, then they go to the rest of the film without wearing their iconic mask, and it just, and like, maybe call me old school, I rather have someone rip it off, or something gets hit and their face is all messed up, and then you realize, yeah, when you openly kind of admit it, and they spent the rest of the film just in their clothes, I'm like, My Bloody Valentine 3D did the same thing.
Or kind of like The Strangers, like when the car explodes and you see that piece of his face revealed, and it's kind of like you could see who's underneath, but they're all kind of mangled up. That's true. It could have been a way better reveal. Something else I got to throw onto the list of cons, and tell me if you guys agree with this, is that the tagline for this film, "There will be no leftovers," when they used it in the film, come on.
No, like I leaned over to Poison. I'm like, they had to say it. They had to say it. And you know, it was the way it was executed was clear. They wanted to say the tagline out loud and proud, kind of type thing.
Another con was like they just worked too much on character development. You said it earlier. It's like we didn't give a shit about any of these actresses and actors. You know, we just want to see you die. Character development for the killer, yeah, maybe. But these, like, come on, man. This isn't One Tree Hill, man. Nobody gives a shit about you. You know?
And like another con, and you know, for our listeners, we're not like knocking the film. We all enjoyed it. It's just there was maybe a little more cons than pros, but what little pros that they had, they did really well. Going back to My Bloody Valentine 3D, it was the same thing. The killer didn't die, and they escaped in the fireman's outfit. They zoom in on the that individual, and then they pan away for a bit. They literally just copied and pasted.
Did they reveal that it was him? I mean, I know they kind of alluded to it, but
well, when the firefighter walks out and they just kind of zoom in on him for like a few seconds, I'm like, oh, that was him. I mean, it could go either way.
Yeah, it could be a sequel.
Like again, the surviving teens are there with the cops with blankets and cocoa.
Exactly. And do you think now, before we wrap this episode up, do you guys want to see a sequel?
I would definitely love to see a sequel. Eli Roth is behind it. Definitely want to see a sequel.
Yeah, only this time he'll have to come up with the storyline like 100% fresh. At least he had a little bit to get from with the old trailer. But yeah, I would definitely be down for this to become like a type of franchise. I would watch another one.
I agree. I would like to see a sequel, but yeah, it would have to be fresh. Just don't repeat the same formula. You know, with that being said, on a scale from 1 to 5 Thanksgiving turkeys, I'm probably going to give it a 4.
I would give it a 5 for sure.
It's because of that clown, dude. It was a clown.
It's the clown. It's definitely the freaking clown, dude. For sure. Go out and see this movie for sure.
It's a perfect film for you?
Perfect for me. Love the gore.
Yeah, man. No, it was definitely was a good film. For me, I'm gonna have to go off of TJ. It was a 4. It was a great film. There's the things to knock are not things that would make you not want to watch it. I mean, I would definitely want to resurrect this film and watch it again. Have this be one that I own. But it wasn't a perfect movie, and I know it can be improved upon with a sequel.
It was a fun movie.
It was fun. Oh yeah, it was fun. And like I said, it wasn't meant to be a comedy. I don't think it's, online saying comedy horror. There were just these funny things in it that just make you laugh. Look at us. Like, we watched the beginning of the film when it starts with that, Black Friday, and none of us really care that all these people were just, like, brutally murdered. We're just laughing at the fact that the guy wanted the waffle iron. Like, it's like, it doesn't even matter that they died. But he wanted the toaster iron,
Yeah, is it the perfect movie? No, probably not. But is it a fun movie to go out and just turn off your brain and sit in a theater with a big box of popcorn? And
No, with a turkey leg.
Oh, yeah.
With a turkey leg.
Turkey legs. Yeah, go watch this on, Thanksgiving night, man. Just go watch this. I mean, I don't know how many theaters will be open on Thanksgiving, but, go watch it on Black Friday. Okay.
No, that's true. Black Friday. I know, this kind of fits into both. Like we said, there was a Black Friday movie with Bruce Campbell, and this kind of fits in. It's a Thanksgiving Black Friday film.
Gore meter. I'm probably going to have to give it 2.5, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
That's fair. That's fair.
I give it a 4.
It's a damn clown. God damn it, dude.
It's a clown killing people.
I gave it a little above average, 3.5. It did have some really good gore. Nothing too extreme, and this is coming from like seeing a woman get turned into a turkey. But
Well, an average of about 3.
Yeah, but there wasn't like too much blood and guts everywhere. So yeah, 3.5.
All right, so the important question, and what is that, SoCal? Come on, I know you know.
Is this a movie that you guys are going to want to resurrect? Or are you guys going to want to put that final nail in the coffin when it comes to this new holiday slasher for Thanksgiving?
Oh, I'm watching this every Thanksgiving, man. This and Krampus are going to be on regular rotation. Screw A Christmas Story. Screw It's a Wonderful Life. Thanksgiving and Krampus.
You're going to watch a Thanksgiving movie for Christmas? You're throwing it in with the Christmas movies, man.
Well, I'll watch them around Thanksgiving
But
time.
he's a sucker for Home Alone, so.
Oh, yeah.
And
Joe Pesci, man. Come on, Joe Pesci. Yeah, my homie.
I would resurrect this. Erection.
Whoa.
I would definitely revisit this. One of those small companies make it. I would buy it on VHS.
We see the picture I sent you, the VHS tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool that companies are doing that. They're making these VHS copies of, new films because, TJ's a collector of VHS. It doesn't have to stop now that's not, I'm not offending you, but it's not the main platform being sold in stores. But definitely a great form to watch on.
Yeah, although they're just as much as a 4K Blu-ray, Yeah, off topic, but like I'm trying to gather my information and all that stuff to make my own. Not to sell, but just for my own personal collection. I mean, I did make Halloween Kills, but I also bought some. I bought Totally Killer, which was a great movie, like we already talked about. Hellfest I bought, and I actually have Prey on VHS. So yeah, I would add Thanksgiving to the collection.
This movie's a classic, and in throwing it on the VHS, you might get those same vibes from the old, mock trailers that we've seen.
That's true, with all the graininess.
With the grainy,
and
yeah.
This is gonna wrap up another episode of The Final Guys for Toxic J, Evil Dead Batman, along with
Dimebag the Clown.
SoCal Leatherface, and for the record, I would also resurrect this.
Oh, I'm sorry, I totally forgot.
Oh, I thought you said you would resurrect.
Yeah, see, I guess.
Yeah, no, I did say it earlier.
To all our listeners, thank you, but why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, be kind, and rewind. And you're gonna end it with gobble gobble, motherfucker.
Oh, dude, go.
Go.
Gobble gobble, motherfucker.
Oh my god.
We walk the streets at night. We go where eagles dare. They pick up every movement. They pick up every loser. We jaded eyes and features. You think they're real?